Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to your show, E-Copy with Experts. This is Ranmay here. And today we have Chris Brencans, so the CEO of On the Map Marketing with us. Welcome, Chris, to our show.
Ranmay, what a pleasure being on your show. We're just missing the coffee. I did have one.
I also have one.
Yeah,
As a matter of fact. Yeah. Black glasses. Yeah. Great. Chris, before we move any forward, I'd like you to introduce yourself, talk a bit about your journey and what On the Map Marketing is all about. What is your core expertise, core offerings, and we'll take it forward from there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll give you the main couple of milestones. I got into agency digital marketing world through web development while being in States. I was just married, but I'm from Europe. So I was in process of receiving my green card. So my wife and I, we started a web development business. I had a friend in Latvia who was a web developer. I'm from Riga, Latvia. And we started a company. And I said, hey, I'll bring you the clients. You build the websites in Latvia. He was really the reason I got into digital marketing. I had a psychology degree and I wanted to be a sports agent because I played basketball myself in college. That's how I came to States. And next thing, him and I were pretty deep into this thing. And I'm generating clients. He's building the sites, learning different aspects of it. And I got my green card, worked with a social media agency for a little bit. He was involved too, helping them with some web development work. And then I found On the Map Marketing, they needed a website project manager and it seemed like a perfect fit for myself. So I came on board together with Kaspers Milbergs, who was my partner in the initial business. And now he's the CTO and I'm CEO. And
Lovely.
That happened 8 years ago. The journey through that was I built a really good relationship with the company founder, Rick Hoskins. And him and we had a great synergies and he really trusted me. And the whole core of our working format was, hey, what's the biggest problem? Let's go solve it. And when I joined the company, biggest problem was web development. We figured out the necessary steps for that. And then I got deeper with SEO processes and further sales. And then next step was SEO, being a CEO. A little bit about On the Map itself, hence the name On the Map. We are a local search marketing agency. We focus heavily on verticals where local search is bread and butter for them. Hence law firms being one, home services, also med spas, dental industry, but primarily about 70% of our revenue comes from our law firm marketing. And that's where we spend a lot of time and where we do a lot of advertising and thought leadership. And we speak on different type of podcasts and generate content. And we love law firm marketing. It's a highly competitive space. One of the highest ever recorded clicks was for mesothelioma attorney, which was roughly around $800 per click. I might be a little bit off and those numbers might be different now, but just think about the fact, $800 per click. On average, personal injury law keywords cost around $300-$400 just for one click. So when those are the numbers for AdWords play, SEO comes also at very high price point and with very high competition. And that's where we thrive. That's the product I developed together with Rick and really fell in love with that. And so I really enjoyed that space. And we're doing the same also in other verticals like home services. Similar story. Clicks are not as expensive, but the return on the leads can be huge. Imagine someone buying services to build a house. That's in US, that's multi-million dollars in some cases.
Right.
So that's our story. Our service offering is SEO, PPC, web development, deep tech knowledge, hence my CTO, Kaspers Milbergs. He is unbelievable full stack developer. So we're very passionate on all ends. I'm just going off here. I think that gives you a good glimpse. Maybe just a few comments on the size itself, how we've grown. Company's been around 12 years. Pre-COVID, we were around 3 million mark. That's when I shifted into sales and CEO role. And then when being in the sales and CEO role and just rolling out heavily our enterprise SEO services, we've gone from 3 million pre-COVID to 6 million mark right now. And we're just getting started.
Yeah. I'm sure. But yeah, quite a journey, I must say, Chris. And from being a project manager to now being the CEO of the company, and this transition from web design to the world of CEO, and then, like you
Yeah.
mentioned, law firm marketing, right? How this happened? This must not have happened overnight. Was this a conscious decision by design, by strategy? How did this happen?
Not at all. I wish I would have started learning SEO when I got into when Casters and I when we had started our company. I think I might be further along. I don't know. No regrets. But really, it was this idea of focusing on the biggest problem within the company and solving that. It wasn't conscious. Oh, now I'm going to go learn SEO. Oh, now I'm going to focus on this shiny thing. It was more like, what is the biggest issue right now where I can invest my time in and resolve that? And Rick and I, we would make that decision, and then I would go and come up with the plans for that. So I had to wear a lot of hats, and that's been also, it's one of those double-edged swords to say you should specialize in one thing, but when you understand different concepts, it benefits you to be on the medium expert level within multiple dimensions.
Mhm. And in terms of revenue, like you mentioned, you have overseen this growth to $6 million now. Can you delve into the strategies or some pivotal takeoffs which these budding entrepreneurs who are in the digital marketing space can actually benefit from in terms of if they are also willing to go there and expand their company?
Absolutely. To us, a big factor was actually changing our product to a lot higher price point product. Well, we're selling $600 to $1,000 a month SEO packages, month-to-month contracts, and we shifted to a lot higher retainers and 12-month, 6-month contracts. So focusing on that changed the sales trajectory. There were longer sales cycles, but these type of clients were staying with us a lot longer. So our retention and residuals were more long-term cycle rather than just churn and burn. Hey, let's bring in quickly new clients and they don't last long, which is false premise to build a business. So that was a big factor. And then second one, which is interesting, we started heavily working on our own SEO. And that happened already 4 years ago. A little bit before COVID, we started launching a lot of different type of vertical pages that no one really had caught up on. Let's say roofing SEO had no search volume. We were like, let's launch it anyways. And we were ranking, and then gradually you start other people getting into it. So I think identifying what is your vertical and then developing content within that vertical and positioning yourself as an expert, talking about your different case studies, that resonates a lot with SEO because you're creating content around the field you're an expert in. So that would be my suggestion to some other aspiring agency owners. Now, granted, some of these keywords are highly competitive. Our own website DR is 73. So it's going to be a tough battle, but I think the search space is so broad. There's always some creative ways how you can break into it, but you just need to start taking the steps to develop some form of inbound lead mechanism. Without that, it's going to be really hard. And it's worth mentioning also that before that, our company, when we got to about close to 4 million mark, we had a really big sales team that would call probably every possible attorney in America and push them our service. And it was highly refined machine. The sales director and part company was Kerry Game. He did an amazing job getting us to that place. And then COVID came and it was really hard to continue outbound sales. So we had to restructure and take a new direction. And that was a blessing in disguise for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Higher ticket size clients, after you have tested the initial waters and as you're ensuring that there is no leaking bucket in terms of the operational side of things that you have, that kind of helps you scale,
Exactly.
And have very strong processes around to ensure that, you not only have higher ticket size, but also that, sticking around for that long.
And if they're not staying, it's going to hurt.
Yeah. I can so relate to the roofing example which you gave prior to 4 or 5 years ago. I can so relate to that. Great, yeah. Chris, you also have your own podcast, Law Firms on the Map, and which has gained quite a significant following. Could you share the inspiration behind starting it and how it aligns with your mission to help law firms grow?
The inspiration really is just everyday conversations. I love meeting other marketers, law firm owners, and operators, and just hearing their success stories. There aren't that many successful law firm marketing campaigns, and the amount of people that have figured it out. I think each one of those conversations has some kind of nugget that another person can learn from that hasn't figured it out. And just like running a successful business, it's exciting to go a little deeper into that and talk about successful law firms. And my goal was to bring these voices through lens of on the map marketing, through the people of our company, and just have really great conversations. And within these conversations, share that knowledge with my audience. And on top of that, learn something myself. The goal is to see each conversation as, one nugget. We're going to try this. We talked about local screen ads, or we're talking about latest link building strategies for law firms. There's dime a dozen these ideas, AI, and it just never stops. There's so much movement within the SEO industry, within the search engine marketing industry, that having this ongoing cadence of conversation about what's working. And here's the case study of that person or that law firm. I think it's great to open up that dimension and continue populating that information.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you mentioned, AI, I could not help myself from asking, we are all out in this storm, right? For the last 6 months or so.
Yes.
Still, we all are trying to figure out the way forward. Exciting times for sure. And people getting scared to now people learning the tech. It has only gotten better in the last quarter or so. But what is your take? Where are we headed? And how much do you use it at On the Map? If you want to disclose it, it's fine.
Yes, I was just on a podcast discussing this. I think too many people are saying AI is bad. You shouldn't use it for your content. But then no one's talking about the fact that content writing agencies are dying right now.
Correct.
It's a real situation. Word agents recently lost $2 million in their revenue or something bizarre. There's a lot of content writing agencies that are losing business. And where was this business coming from? It's coming from affiliate SEOs, extremely smart people that are investing their own money in content writing. And if they're saying, hey, I don't need to invest that much money in writers because now I have these tools that can substitute a lot of my processes, we can't just sit here and say, in law firm marketing, it doesn't work. That's just people protecting their own kind of idea and maybe their business if they are in content writing business. I say you need to test it, and only then you can talk about it. Have you tested it to say you get penalized, or roll out your own test sites? We're building an all-star law firm SEO team right now. We brought on some really impressive talent, and we're going to be testing a lot of things. We're talking about building content plans of 250,000 words, putting it on expired domains, and just rolling it as complete test sites. Like I love affiliate SEO, and I want to bring that energy and those type of ideas to law firm SEO, where, everything has to be by the book, but at the same time, the tests we've done with some clients. And by the way, we ask our clients, hey, are you open to AI testing? Like, you signed off on this. Like, we're on the same page, 100% transparency. And clients like, I want you to test this, because my idea behind this is, let's say you invest $5,000 in SEO. We get you 7 backlinks and let's say 10,000 words of content. What if for the same amount of money, I can get you 7 backlinks, but we roll out 30,000 words of content? Who's going to be moving faster in SERP? You or the competitor? Of course, the content can be subpar, but there's a lot of supporting content. There's a lot of filler content that needs to be done just to build a topical authority. So if that is properly AI written and human edited, what is the issue with that? What is the issue with that? I'm just providing more value for my customer, and we're being more competitive. in the SERP for whatever keywords we're going after. It's it's a battle in the SERP, and that's where we stand. We need to test this. Obviously, we don't want to risk our clients. It's all about their ROI, but at the same time, we can't be oblivious to this and just put a stamp saying, no, it doesn't work when you haven't really even tried that. And I feel like a lot of people are putting just a stamp saying, oh, it doesn't work, but they haven't truly tested it to be even able to say that.
Yeah, absolutely. See, the platforms who is giving the AI platforms are themselves testing it day in, day out. So it's only fair that we also test and see for ourselves whether it's working or not, rather than jumping on a conclusion. Yeah, it's not a deliverable product. It's not a final product for sure. But like you mentioned, very critical human edited content. Yeah, it gives you that head start, gives you time, gives you those facts. And if it is human edited, then I really don't see any harm there. And no chances of getting penalized as well. Just you need to test that. Again, a very valid point wherein you said the client should be on page with that before you go ahead and do that with them. And if you get the results, then why not? In the same kind of budget, you'll be showing them results way better than what it was earlier. So no harm done.
I just want my clients to win. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, absolutely. Great that you have clients who are ready to test that. That's a blessing.
You'd be surprised how competitive attorneys are. They are.
Yeah.
There are attorneys who know things about SEO before the average SEO even knows. And that's an ideal customer for us because they appreciate the equity they're building with their website. And they're almost like affiliate SEOs that have their sites generating money. They think of their own website and their Google business profile as like, this is my equity that's bringing me money. And in personal injury cases, these can be $10 million plus settlements. Like it's serious money. And there's some websites like, I don't know if you heard of Morgan, for the people that drives insane amount of traffic. They have rankings all over the nation. And John Morgan himself is extremely competitive. Like he constantly goes in new markets and his marketing strategies are omni-channel. It's traditional marketing, social marketing, SEO, PPC. Like, and that's who you're up against.
Yeah, absolutely. Can imagine. Lawful marketing can be tricky, and then you would have been having clients across the country, across regions. How do you devise a strategy in terms of being able to rank them on at a local, national level? And how do you feel the strategy is different from other different niches, especially when we compare them to law marketing?
I would say biggest difference is the content writing specifics, because if you've never have worked on a law firm SEO campaign, like first you just need to learn the fundamentals of different law practices. There's personal injury, family, criminal. And then within each, it's almost like a sub niche within the law firm marketing. So then you need to specialize within that sub niche, because then you need to build out the topical expertise within, let's say if it's family law, we have to talk about all categories of family law. So divorce, adoption, child abuse, or that's more criminal, but there's so many aspects that it goes into. And then you need to provide answers to potential prospects within those specific categories. So that's one. If you took on a campaign and you don't realize that, and you're like, oh, family law, maybe I should throw up a page on criminal law. The attorney might eat you alive because like, what are you doing? You don't understand my business. And then other side to that is from link building perspectives, you have to identify what are law related directories where your client should appear. And that's just fundamental level. Then you have to go deeper and figure out how can you build your client as an expert within some other high authority website. Can regular guest posts suffice in this case? If you're in some highly metropolitan area, they might need to become almost writers of some local newspaper and have their own column. There's so many aspects that come in play, especially when you look at the competition. Like, what are they doing? And will you be able to match that frequency of marketing activities? But yeah, I think that's the main factor. Same applies in other industries. Home services, they also have their own types of directories and content specification. So as long as you're able to figure those aspects out, you'll have pretty solid foundation to be successful.
Yeah, absolutely. And then since you mentioned about backlinks, what is your take versus guest posts versus niche edits, or what is your take on hero links as well? I'd be
Yeah,
actually glad to understand that from you.
it's a great question. It differs from how competitive the areas are. There's areas, let's say location wise, you're, I don't know, bankruptcy attorney. You might be fine just getting some guest posts and making sure all your regular directory links are there. But if you go in some highly competitive areas like Houston personal injury law, you better be prepared to get some high authority links from news sites, some prominent, because Google getting a lot smarter and it sees who are the attorneys that actually appear on news. So if you can be an attorney that appears on news and gives commentary on certain noteworthy events, that's going to put you apart from just an average attorney trying to break into page one. We have a mix of strategies when it comes to link building. We also do guest posting within the law niche, making sure that the category aligns properly with our attorney's experience. As far as niche edits, those we don't exercise as much. We're cautious with them, depending on what could be the potential insertion. If there is great relevance, then yeah, we'll evaluate those. And something that is becoming a lot more popular is like actually niche edits that drives traffic, like getting the edit in the page with traffic. So that's something that's being tested. Hero links, I have mixed feelings about them. There's a period where we're actively building them. It didn't die down just because everyone's trying to get those hero links, and the results, I haven't seen huge impacts from it. But again, it's a mix of activities that drives the real results. Things that's been a little more successful for us when it comes to high authority links is like digital PR campaigns. I will agree, those drive really nice authority boost for the site itself. And then if you align that with an ongoing link building and proper content writing activities, then your website is set for success.
Yeah, absolutely. And then data-driven content can itself be a powerful link building asset. So as per you, how can law firms with access to legal insights leverage data to create compelling content that naturally attracts those high authority backlinks?
Yeah. How do we get them? It comes down to we don't have an in-house digital PR department yet. That's something I aspire to develop. So we work with some reputable companies in the space, and they're just extremely smart people that build these unique content pieces, and they basically handle all the work. They do the outreach and they're able to land the links. Really, for us, the job is more about picking the right partners and making sure they execute in timely basis and align strategically with the respective practice areas for those attorneys.
Good, yeah, Chris. Really can't thank you enough for taking your time and doing this with us. But before we let you go, I would like to play a quick rapid fire with you. I hope you're game for it.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Your last Google search.
Oh,
You can check your system. It's an open book. Don't worry.
okay. Let me see. I'm going to
Sure.
go to my history. I do check a lot rankings. Oh, this is going to sound super egoistic, but there's a reason for it. It was actually my own name, Christoph Brencans and Chris Brencans.
Okay.
Because I recently had on my podcast, it's not published yet, but there's a company called CaliQ, and they focus on developing your personal brand SERP. So I've been doing that with appearing on podcasts. So I keep constantly checking what my personal brand SERP looks like. So that's right before our podcast, I was checking what my personal brand SERP looked like. It's actually getting better. And there's a couple of tricks I need to do as well. Like I need to launch my own personal website. So then a knowledge graph can be connected to my podcast appearances and other things. So
Right.
There you go. That's a good question. I like that.
Great. Okay. Okay. So let's move out of this work zone. Yeah.
Mhm.
Who is your celebrity crush?
Celebrity crush.
Yeah.
Wow, that was an unexpected one.
We had
really
enough of
threw me.
SEO and link building on this already.
Wait, like celebrity, like any type celebrity?
Yeah.
Probably, I'd say Jessica Alba.
Lovely. Okay. What is your favorite quote? I mean, if you have it.
My favorite quote, yes, it will be Travis Kalanick. It will be by Travis Kalanick. I don't know how official this quote is, but his whole concept was business is constant problem solving. And
Mhm.
that's really what it is. And that's how I see it. And really my mantra. It's not the shiny thing. It's what is the biggest problem I need to solve right now in the business.
Okay. Great. And let's say if we were to make a movie on you, what genre would it be? I know you played basketball, but yeah, still.
It would be one of those, like a company stories, like crazy
Mhm.
company story, like Netflix is redoing them on Uber and other companies.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
it's in making. It's going to be, we're building $100 million local search marketing empire.
I'm sure sooner than later. Yeah. And okay, we'll not get you any further. The last one. What did you do with your first paycheck? First paycheck ever.
Oh, that was actually from playing basketball. We won like third place in country something in Latvia. And everyone got bonus checks. And I took my family out for sushi, like a really nice sushi lunch.
Lovely. Lovely. Great, yeah, Chris. It was lovely hosting you. And I'm sure our audiences would have benefited a lot out of the insights you shared today. I really appreciate your time, man. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ranmay.
Thanks.